Hello, my fellow sickos of any and all genders, T-Dub here, and you're probably wondering why you're seeing footage of Mirror's Edge right now. Well, I was going to review this game, but as it turns out, I'm not too good at it, and honestly, I was just getting frustrated recording footage, so I decided to go with something I was a bit more familiar with. WWF SmackDown for the PlayStation 1! This game was released in March of 2000, which was super late in the PS1's life cycle. In fact, this was the last year anyone would really give any mind to the console due to 2001 being the year of, well, these amazing titles. Let's start with the gameplay. Circle Irish whips, circle plus a directional button does grapple moves, X for strikes, R1 to enter and exit the ring, and once you have enough momentum, you can use L1 to activate your finisher. Unlike modern titles, however, standing finishers can only be done to opponents who are dazed after being picked up, so no out of nowhere moves allowed here. As seen in this footage, matches are very fast-paced with very little in the way of selling, so don't expect any 5-star Yokohama Arena style matches here. As far as match types are concerned, we have the hardcore match, which allows players to fight backstage, and while there aren't a lot of areas, it's still nice that they're here. Not the best backstage areas, but still better than WCW Mayhem at the very least. Next is the classic steel cage match. If you know what you're doing, then you'll win super easy every time. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Following that is the special referee mode, wherein you get to be the referee and call it right down the middle. No funny business allowed here. And lastly, we have the I Quit match, wherein you must damage your opponent until they utter the infamous 2-word 5-letter phrase into the microphone, and goodness gracious me does this one take an Ice Age to complete. The amount of damage you have to inflict is absolutely bonkers, especially for how quick these matches usually go. I get it, they really wanted to sell the stipulation, but they went a tad overboard here. Presentation-wise, this game is fine. The wrestlers all look well enough, and the same goes for the 3 arenas featured in the game. Yeah, only 3, Raw, SmackDown, and one that has 2 entrances like we're in Japan. They make up for this with the ability to swap out the rings with the different arenas. Gotta tell you, between this and the entrances, I'm starting to think this game was a bit rushed. Oh yeah, let's talk about the entrances. They're weird as hell. You got wrestlers walking in front of their entrance videos and it just comes off as just weird. I have no idea why both this and the sequel SmackDown 2 went this route when designing the entrances. It feels less like wrestlers making their entrances and more like they're performing in front of a green screen. And to top it off, they don't even include championships. You do get to see the championship name in the lower third, but that's it. No physical belts in the game, not during the entrances or even the celebrations. That is outside of the championship menu, which lets you know what rankings can challenge for it. Yeah, this game keeps track of rankings and only people ranked a certain number can challenge for certain titles. This would be carried over into SmackDown 2, and it's another odd decision as WWE has never ever cared about this even a little bit. We've seen people go on losing streaks become champions overnight, but then again, this was made by a Japanese developer who, until this point, was making games for New Japan Pro Wrestling, so it's easy to understand why they wouldn't understand the mind of McMahon. Then again, even after 20 plus years of watching wrestling, I still don't understand the mind of McMahon, and quite frankly, I hope I never do. Fuck that guy. Another thing I don't understand is why there's only a few women on the roster. I know they were always an afterthought until like 2016, but holy hell's bells, this is disrespectful.
Death to the WWF!
Keeping on topic, this game also features a create a pay-per-view mode, which is just as bare bones. You don't even get to choose the arena or see any sort of intro video, it's just pretty pointless really. The season mode is, well, it's better than WrestleMania 2000s as, guess what? We get cutscenes! They usually don't go anywhere, but they exist! That at least kept me going from April until November, which, by the way, took less than an hour. This is due to the fact that you only play through a few shows per month, and on top of that, you're not always booked for every show. But hey, at least there are things that happen sometimes. And that was WWF SmackDown, a super interesting piece of wrestling game history. Ukes would stay with WWE for several years, with their final game being WWE 2K19 in 2018, with their follow-up being AEW Fight Forever in 2023, an underrated game in my opinion. But 2K19 is a story for another time, and I've already talked about Fight Forever twice. I hope those of a similar age enjoyed this trip down memory lane, and those who are younger or not really interested in pro wrestling, thank you for joining me for this nevertheless. You know what? Why not stay on the PlayStation 1 just a little bit longer?